I'm having to fill in for Mr. Clausell. He is at an ASB meeting in Washington, so he's supposed to be back Wednesday. Get my cheat sheet here. Just let's have a moment of silence. All right. I'm standing for the pledge. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Ms. C, is there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, please. If we could remove 7D, that's the capital plan. I spoke with Mr. Justice as our chairperson of that for the system, and he's going to have another meeting during this week, and so we're going to bring it to you all on Thursday. Our second budget hearing will have a meeting at 7:15, and that's the 11th. So we'll bring that to you. Ms. Marks from the board is going to be represented on that with Mr. Justice, so
Okay.
we'll be ready to present on Thursday.
All right.
So if we'll just remove that item tonight, please.
All right. Any more changes?
That's all.
All right. You've heard the changes. Do I have a motion to approve? Kobe, Tawana. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Number 4, budget hearing. Ms. Kim, we'll turn it over to you.
Okay, here's the good stuff. I put a packet at each of your spots, and there's more packets there if anybody would like one, along with a response form that goes with it. But for our 2026 budget, those numbers right there are really, really hard to see. So we're gonna take it to the next slide. This just shows the breakdown of all revenues and expenditures by class. And how those pan out for FY26 with the funds that we know we're getting at this time. This is a comparison of our expenditures from what they were in FY25. You see that our revenues are going to be less than what our proposed expenditures are by $865, and that deficit is going to have to come from our fund balance that we will carry forward. Now keep in mind, I budget very conservatively on what we carry forward in fund balance and on what our revenue will be. So I'm not saying that's where we'll be. I just try to go on the conservative side of revenue, just to be upfront. This gives you more of a visual aid, broken down by function. You'll see that the majority of our budget does go, 68.7% goes to instruction services or instructional support services. Those are going to be your instructional services. It's going to be teacher, student interaction. Your support services are going to be your aides, your school administrators, any instructional supplies. That is just broken down, which that includes, the school supplies that we provide. Then you've got transportation and child nutrition make up a combined 9.2%. Admin service, which is going to be, general administration, central office expenses, board expenses make up 7.8%. And debt service and capital projects bring in a little over 3% each. There's our revenue in the breakdown. You'll see the majority of it does come from state revenue. We do get federal revenue, which was down this year from what we've had in the past. Local revenue is going to be our taxes, our ad valorem taxes, sales taxes, and then those are going to be a lot of things that make up at the local school, things that they take in. Those are inside our budget as well. These are our earned units for this year for the state foundation program. You'll see that we lost 2.45 units. That's directly related to our ADM numbers. You'll see that we're down 36.95 units. And so that resulted, we in the loss of the teacher units and the loss of the assistant principal. We normally get just half a unit for an assistant principal anyway, but last year we had enough students at the middle school that we actually earned one full unit there. But we don't have that now. So we only earn a half unit per school for an assistant principal. This is the breakdown of what we get from the state, and I know Ms. Marks, you had asked about the textbook money. These come straight from the state allocations. This is what they give us. You'll see that they did not budget as much in salaries this time as they did last year, but yet we had an increase in fringe benefits. That is due to the fact that our insurance went up $1,248 per year per employee on what we have to pay, and that's state mandated. It was $800 a month, well, $9,600 a year, now it's $10,848. So that is our match that we have to pay for each employee for their insurance. And also, there was an increase in the retirement rates. Our 10 mil match that we have to put into the foundation program, it did increase $145,000. And you'll see that our funding is down because we did not get that student growth money this year. Those were special allocations that they did 1 year, and we, as far as we know at this time, we will not be getting those funds this year. This is a breakdown of our total employees right now. We are down from last year. Last year, I believe we had 164 employees, and we're down to 159. There were some positions that were cut at Mulkey through attrition. Teachers were not hired back to try to save on some of our overages. So you'll see we have the 81 and a half teachers. That half unit is Ms. Metz because she teaches and she is the career tech director. So we earn that half unit as a career tech director. So she counts as half of the teacher. We do have 12 units that are coming from local funds. You're always going to have the one administrator and your superintendent, our 6 interventionists, our 1 dual enrollment retired teacher, and our part-time teacher filling in for us at middle school makes up that certified support staff. And then the other support staff are the 5 custodians that we're having to pay from local because we're just not getting enough state money to do that. These are the budgets that they operate within the general fund. This is the state money that we get, our larger pots. One thing I'd like to point out, the RAISE Act, which is being said to be new money, is not all new money. It is made up of some money, poverty money, some special ed money, gifted money, ELL money, but the only part of that that's actually new is going to be that special education money, and they have restricted it that you have to use it in certain tiers. They've got 3 tiers that, so we're using it to pay for a small percentage of a teacher and for an aide for one of our students at Mulkey. So the RAISE Act money is a new pot of money, but they did away with the gifted pot and the ELL pot and the at-risk pot. So it's really not anything new. It's just money we've been getting that they're calling something different. This is a breakdown of our transportation and our operations and maintenance budget. You'll see our state allocation under transportation and our local funds. Our local funds, that is the mandated, is it $1.50 per mile, Brent? $1.60 per mile that we have to charge every sport, every field trip, anytime a bus rolls, whether it's our students on it, we have to charge $1.60 per mile. and that goes back into transportation. So those local funds, those are just our money that we're moving from one pot to another to fund transportation. Our fleet renewal funds, that's the amount we'll get this year, and we'll put that, probably roll that if we do not have to purchase a bus, into the next year. And then you see our, we've got 10 bus drivers, a utility driver, a mechanic. They do put 33% of a secretary into the formula for transportation and 35% of an administrator. So that's the amounts that we budget there. Then operations and maintenance, our big pots there, you'll see the janitorial supplies. Utilities is a big one for us. We did budget for the replacement of the board vehicle, and hopefully transfer this one to driver's ed, as we had discussed earlier. So that's in the budget for us to be able to do that if the board decides. These are our federal funds. The total amount, the $568,769, is what we get for Title I. Title I's used at Mulkey and the middle school. The set-asides, we have no control over that. That's the amount that we have to set aside for those specific items, and that leaves us the $539,782.29 that we can budget and actually play around with and use. So you'll see the majority of that is going to go to teachers, start first and after school. So 96% of our Title I budget is going to pick up those teacher units and those employee units that we were shorted with the state. Title II, Erica has budgeted that to pay for professional development for teachers. So that is something that we will budget and use for that. Title III, the little bit we get goes to instructional supplies. Title IV, we are gonna roll that into rule because it has less rules to use it by, and we'll use that to pay for summer school at Mulkey and at the high school. The middle school and the high school. IDEA is gonna be a lot like our Title I. The majority of that is gonna go to salary and benefits, so 96% of that, is going to, again, pick up those, shortages on what we earned from the state. This last slide is our debt slide, and you'll see that we have a very low balance owing on the 2010 refunding. I've tried to go ahead and get that, paid off, but we can't do that because that's something we've done with the city, and those bondholders just will not let us pay that little bit ahead of time. So we only owe $15,000 on that, and that'll pay out in 2028. Our QZAB money, that was the money we borrowed for the history building, and it's actually at 0.78%. I wish we could borrow money for that now. So that's why that interest rate is so low, and that one will pay out in 29. And then we still owe the $8.7 million on the stadium project and the Mulkey project. And that'll pay off in 2048. So our total debt requirement for FY26 is the $593,914.18. And that is where we are for FY26. If there's any questions?
Any questions?
I just had one question on the transportation for the vehicle, for the board vehicle. How old is that vehicle? And
Well, that vehicle, the reason it had been discussed is because we need a larger vehicle for driver's ed. The vehicle that we bought, the Sentra, we have students that cannot fit into that car because of their height. So they need a bigger vehicle. That one,
2020 or 2021?
maybe a 19 or a 20. And it was just gonna be transferred to driver's ed because, it's begun to have a few issues, so teachers and getting off on it, away from home in Birmingham or wherever, we've just been kind of advised that they would stick close to home, so we were just gonna transfer that one to driver's ed for them to have a bigger vehicle to accommodate those larger students. And then we can either do a bid like we did for the car ourselves, or buy something off state bid. So it's just in the budget if the board decides that's something they do. I just went ahead and budgeted it because it had been discussed.
Did we discuss what, another vehicle or something that they were gonna get rid of also?
Well, we talked about maybe the old driver's ed car, being able to get rid of that one. And then until we did something, you know, the Sentra would be another vehicle, because we got a really good price on that one by doing a local bid that could be used for teachers doing professional development or, you know.
All right, any questions?
Then we have further discussions later.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fine.
Yeah, we won't purchase anything without board approval.
We just-
It was
all we
just
do
put
is
in
budget.
there.
In case we need it. Or in case we choose to do that. All right, number 5, approve the minutes for 8/11/25. Do I have a motion to approve those? Brad? Toby? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All right, we'll turn it over to, let's see.
All right, well, we have been in school now for a little over a month, and things are rocking and rolling. Mr. White is not here tonight. They had their first JV game, so it was all hands on deck at the stadium. So, he and I got to spend, the morning in doing walkthroughs in the classrooms of the middle school, and I've got the others set up with the different principals, and things look great. We've got a lot of new faculty, and I was very pleased at what I saw in this classroom as we walked through, so doing a great job there. Speaking of walkthroughs, we have it on our calendar for next Thursday, the 18th. If you're available and would like to join us, board, we will, start those at 8 o'clock. And I think we will start at the middle school, go to the high school, and then Mulkey, sort of change it up a little bit so y'all can see some variation than y'all have seen in the last few years. But I'll send out an email to you, telling you where we'll meet and all of that, so. Middle school, and then we'll go to the high school, maybe spend about 30 minutes at each building, because I know, you know, all of you've got, you know, other things to have done during the day, and then go over to Mulkey. And that's all I have for my reports, and I'll turn it over to, Mr. Justice. Okay.
Well, we just, still trying to get the 300 building and lunchroom finished up. We had Mr. Barry Davis on campus today to walk with me and Mr. Don, see if we couldn't light a fire a little bit, and, just a few things that they're trying to get done, but feel good about him coming on board and kind of get them moving a little bit on that. Also trying to get the stadium ready this week for our first home game, Friday night game with the new track. As you know, there's a fence up, and there's a lot of little things that go into keeping these kids off the track. I wouldn't think it'd be so hard, but me and Todd was down there this morning for a couple hours just for this junior high game. So we think we got pretty good wraps on that. Just off the cuff, we got some bus evacuations coming up. We're going to go through with all our people. Every kid in the school will go through an evacuation like they're supposed to. And we'll get that plan and get it rolling.
Ms. Wright, I know she is heavy into making sure all of her plans, she stepped out to go to the JV game as well. And so she'll be bringing forward some of those next month. And we'll start with the high school. Mr. Cruz?
I'm gonna defer to Ms. Metz. We got
Okay.
two events coming, you're talking about two events coming up Thursday. The 9/11, you know, remembrance ceremony. This will be the, I don't know how many years the city's done it now, but it's the 24th year, you know, anniversary. So that's 8:30, it'll get started somewhere around 9, you know, right before 9, so if you can be there for that. FBLA students will be involved in that. And then Ms. Henderson, our career coach, has got a big event planned for Thursday afternoon. It's a Jumpstart Your Future tailgate party, and she's got around 20 different either military or college recruiters coming. They're gonna set up tables outside in the front yard prior to the Ashford volleyball game on Thursday, so we're excited about that. She's doing a really good job, been a huge asset to our school with her knowledge and providing scholarship opportunities and information to our students. We've been really blessed with her, so.
She's had many branches of the military already come, haven't
Yeah,
she,
they-
Mr. Cruz? Yeah.
More than I knew existed.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, very good. Ms. Metz? Okay, all right, thank you. All right, and like the middle school, they are hard at it. I know with ball games, they've, gotten the robotics team going, so going good there. And the elementary school, Miss Mixon is at a training, so Miss Parrish is filling in for her tonight, so thank you, Miss Parrish. Do you have any updates?
Anytime, yes, so we have completed our first round of PST meetings, we've had several SRIP meetings, lots of good collaboration with parents.
Okay, and let's tell them what an SRIP, because I wouldn't know what that was unless I'd been in the
Right.
elementary world.
So that's a student reading improvement plan. Any kid that we identify that has a reading deficiency, we pull in the parents and the teachers and just provide resources for at home and make a plan to kind of close those gaps before they get to third grade and take that ACAP test for Literacy Act. So it's just an early intervention plan where we collaborate with parents and teachers and try to close those gaps for those kids.
Very good meetings, very informative
Yes.
type meetings with parents, yes, thank you.
And
You
we had
typically see results pretty quick off of that.
It depends on the situation, you know, it's a kid by kid thing, cause there's different reasons for the deficiency, so it really just,
Yeah.
it really just depends, but we always get good collaboration with our parents. Every parent either showed up or answered the phone, we didn't have one not show or not have any interest, so, it's really good collaboration with our parents.
Good.
We've initiated a monthly attendance competition to try to get that up for the month of September especially, but we've kind of pre-planned for some others coming up. We're learning more about iRating. The middle school has helped us out greatly with that, learning how to progress monitor. And our teachers have completed their PLPs. Ms. Nix and I are working on our ASIP. Our after-school tutoring program started today, and our robotics team started practicing last week.
Thank you, Ms. Pierce. And let me circle back around to you, did you have anything else? I know you probably covered it with all your budget stuff, so.
I did not.
Okay. All right, that's all for the reports then.
Now we'll go to superintendent recommendation, turn it back over to Jamie.
Okay, all right, so, we'll do A, and then you'll see why we're doing A. So so you'll see why we're doing B. The superintendent recommends that the Geneva City Board of Education approve the transfer of, the first one is Beth Turner from GHS to Mulkey Elementary School. And the second is Shannon King from GMS to Geneva High School.
Do we need to do these separate? Or
That can be done
Be done
together.
soon? All right. The superintendent recommends that the Geneva City Board of Education approve the transfer of Beth Turner from the high school to the Mulkey Elementary and Shannon King from middle school to high school. Do I have a motion? Kobe and Tawana. Any discussion? All in favor says aye.
All right, so next, so we're gonna hire a paraprofessional. We had, several special needs students come into the elementary school this year, and so we needed, some extra help there, especially at our PE. So with that being said, we had some teacher aides that wanted to transfer within the system. So with that, the superintendent recommends that the Geneva City Board of Education approve the hiring of Ms. Brandy Holland as paraprofessional at GMS.
All right, you've heard the superintendent recommendation. The City Board of Education approved the hiring of Brandy Holland as paraprofessional at Geneva Middle School. Do I make a motion to approve? Second? Brad? Any discussion? All in favor says aye. All right. And C.
Okay, all right. The superintendent recommends that the Geneva City Board of Education approve the speech-language pathologist contract with Foundation's Pediatric Therapy Clinic to provide services to our students for speech services.
All right, you've heard the superintendent recommendation for the City Board of Education to approve the speech and language pathologist contract with Foundation Pediatric Therapy Clinic to provide services to our students. Do I have a motion to approve? Kobe? Brad? Any discussion? All in favor says aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'd just like to say, I thank you and Ms. Wright for the feedback y'all gave me with that contract, the questions I had to ensure that I understood and to ensure that I understood why we were just having to get the 2.5 month contract rather than going through. And I thank you for explaining all of the details to that. And during the process, and I appreciate that. And I'll make sure that you hear that, to ensure that, we can go ahead and get that, initiated.
All in favor? Alright,
And that's all I have for tonight.
okay. Make a motion to adjourn. Kobe? Have you got something, Mr. Twan?
I had a question, she had
What?
a comment, I had a question about some of the comments, y'all ain't let me comments about this stuff. Y'all ain't let the board know this time, you forgot that part. You said some after-school tutoring, how many students do we have for after-school tutoring this year?
It was, as of this afternoon, we had 41.
41?
Good.
Okay. Go ahead, say no.
And usually we'll add on to
No,
that.
I'm about to say normally, it's normally more than that.
Yeah, it
Say no.
increases
Okay.
usually after this first report, because we invite several, and then here it's a lot of times turn it down, but they'll get those report cards and they'll see grades, and so then they're phoning for help, and so we'll toss them a lifeline and get them enrolled in after school. So usually we see a increase after the first 9 weeks. Yes, sir?
Let's see, I'd like to inject this. We're Jenkins Community Center, we're considering a community project of after-school tutoring at the community center
Yes, sir.
from 3 to 5. If there are any kids that you all think could benefit from that, please let us know.
Okay. All
We're
right.
gonna have retired certified teachers out there working.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
And one more quick, you said that, I just wrote robotics down, but what'd you say about robotics?
They started practicing last week.
Oh, they started practicing?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I thought you were saying they had competition or something coming up.
Not yet, they're getting ready.
How do they become robot, how do they, that's a team, that's a competition?
Yes, ma'am, they complete applications, and then the robotics coaches go through and, based off their applications, select the top candidates.
Okay, so do they try out, or do they interview, or what, how many
I think it's just based off off their application.
application?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, I'm good.
Any other board members have anything? All right, our next meeting will be September 11th at 7:15
Correct.
for a board meeting and final budget hearing. Have a motion to adjourn. Kobe and Tawana. We adjourn.